What's up? I am chaos, the end of ends. A steward trapped in a cage of ice. Your best friend, a belt he calls. Witness me. Yeah. Does that explain why I don't know anything? Probably. Any gacha games? No. You know, the very first time, I'm gonna be completely honest, I've never spent money on a game until 3 years ago. What? On a phone, I've never spent money on an app until 3 years ago, where I decided to purchase an app for public transport. I've never spent money on a game. Even though I had my own money technically, you know, from like part-time jobs, I just grew up with, why would I spend money on games? It doesn't make any sense. That's just how I was brought up. Because Mama Rat would be like, why? And I'm like, good question. I don't know why. Remember back in the day, you know, you don't have these phone plans? I used to have a prepaid card at 2 gigabytes a month. So what can I do with 2 gigabytes, okay? And the 2 gigabytes was there just for emergency situations. You also studied Japanese at that time, right? Well, yeah, I studied Japanese pretty much like half my entire like education career, I suppose. Because it was like with school as well. I hope... What day of the week was Japanese study? Japanese study was... Oh, Japanese study was sometimes on a Wednesday or on a Thursday. Well, technically that's counted as tutoring, so it was Thursday. Yeah. Extra Japanese lessons was on a Thursday, I remember. How did you avoid internet stuff around fellow band nerds? No one talked about the internet. I don't know. I wasn't surrounded by people who talked about the internet. I don't remember what we used to talk about. Actually, you know what? I was always the one in groups where even if they were talking about the internet, I didn't know what they were talking about. So I just kind of sat there in silence and nodded. I hope growing up in the real world instead of online doesn't make you feel like an outsider. No! Honestly, it makes everything more interesting to me. I'm like a child that just entered into a new world that I just don't understand everything. There's so much to learn. It's okay. I don't feel like an outsider. As long as I learn what it is, then I don't feel like an outsider. I think there were times that I did feel like an outsider. Not in Hololive, but in, like back then when I was with like... I had like the group of people around me that started talking about a lot of things that I didn't understand. You know, the good thing about Hololive is that, you know, everyone is so aware of each other. Like back then, and it'll be, you know, not uncommon for that group of people to just kind of forget that I was there, which is fine. You know, when you're talking about something you're really interested in, I guess it's, you know, it's not uncommon to kind of forget about who else is there. And since I was the only one who didn't really understand, like, I didn't really hold it against them, you know, whatever. But the great thing about Hololive is that people remember me. And whenever there's a time where I'm like, what? Well, I don't know what that is. Most of the time, you know, Mumei after would be like, oh, I'll show you this or I'll show you that. And I get educated. Because now I can smile and nod. And then after stream, I get educated where then I nod and I go, oh, I naruhodo. Mumei's your internet mentor. She actually is. When I see a lot of clips, I think people in the comments are, oh my god, was she like... How was she raised? I was raised normally. I just touched a lot of grass. I hope you have a lovely rest of your afternoon, day, morning, wherever you are. I'm gonna go. Thank you. Bye bye. 안녕, 잘내, 사와다.